Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Carrie Smoot Manning with the Village Spa.
And I'm Wayne Morris with WHHI-TV.
And today we are here in the parking lot at the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. And we're here because our first guest is Miss Charlie Clark. She's the Vice President of the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. And they've got a very exciting week coming up. They've got Business Appreciation Week.
Yeah, and our second guest is Tony Ferguson from DeFusky Tourism. She has come in contact with a lady named Rebecca Starr. And Rebecca Starr is an expert on the history of DeFusky Island. And there's a keynote speech coming up from Rebecca that you don't want to miss, and she's going to have the details on that. And then our last guest is one of WHHI's own, Jenny Lockhart. She's the host of the Real Estate News here on WHHI, and she's going to be talking about the show and what you can expect to see, and the real estate market's getting hot again. So
all the good news about the real estate market, which is a nice change.
Very good news. So she's going to talk about that and also her other business. She's a life coach, so it's going to be a great episode.
So make sure that you come back for more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where the town of Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
843 TV, where DeFusky Island comes to speak.
843 TV, where the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber comes to speak.
843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We're here this morning with Miss Charlie Clark. She is the Vice President at the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. How are you this morning?
I'm great on this great Hilton Head humid morning a little bit.
At least it's not raining today. We're getting lucky this morning.
Exactly.
So things are going to look a lot different in this parking lot next on Monday the 19th. So what's happening?
You know, it starts off, it's the kickoff of one of our favorite weeks of the year, which is Small Business Week. And traditionally, we do a fun thing called Pork in the Parking Lot. I mean, who said there's no such thing as a free lunch? We actually, as a member appreciation thing for our members, we do a huge, big free barbecue lunch here. We'll have hundreds of people in this parking lot just kind of chatting and celebrating, and it's just really the kickoff for the whole week for us.
Who would pass up barbecue pork?
Absolutely. Hundreds don't. So it's great. It's one of our favorite weeks of the year.
You've got some new awards this year, right, for small businesses? So can you tell us about it?
Yeah, during the whole week is when we really celebrate small business. So the week really, one of the highlights of the week is when we give out our Small Business of the Year award. Sure. And so this year what we've done, at the request of our members, really there's a lot of members that are still small businesses that normally wouldn't qualify before. So we have a category for businesses with 10 and under employees. We have a small business category for 10 and over. We also have an emerging business for maybe a business who's been in business for 1 to 3 years, but has really shown a lot of promise and a lot of push and a lot of success. And then the one I'm really kind of looking forward to too is the Young Professional of the Year. That's a new one we're doing this year to honor kind of an up and coming young professional.
Right, and it's more inclusive, it seems like. There's more opportunities for a variety of different kinds of small businesses.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've always done the one biggie, and so this year it's going to be really fun to kind of get, and actually to honor that individual. We have a big young professionals community here. I'm not sure most people are aware of that we have a young professionals group that meets and does networking once a month, so it's going to be fun to honor one of those and shine the spotlight on small business for the week.
In our community, I mean, every community in the country really, but especially here, it feels like there's so many small businesses. I mean, there's a ton.
It's the backbone of our national economy. I mean, I think it's, corporations always get the big news and they're the ones that get the big spotlight, but in reality, jobs are created with small business. 80% of our members are small businesses, so it's definitely the majority of our makeup, majority of most chambers. So it's a great way to kind of celebrate that favorite week of the year for us.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now you have an exciting business leader giving this year's keynote at the Small Business Awards Luncheon. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
We're excited about that. Greg Parker. Can you go down the street these days without seeing a Parker's?
That's right.
They've sort of paradigm shift how we see that type of establishment now. They're nicer, and it's just a nice place to go and fill your car up with gas and do that. And he's really quite an entrepreneur. He started with his first store when he was 21 years old, and he was on, for the last 2 years, he's been on Inc. magazine's fastest growing business list. So he's got some great things to say, and he says them in such a neat way too. He kind of relates that, here's how I've been successful, and here's what I've learned along the way. So he is going to be our keynote speaker for that luncheon, letting us know his top ideas for how to make your small business successful.
What a great speaker to have, because he really took, like you said, it's a paradigm shift. I mean, he took something that you have in your mind to perceive one way and totally, I remember the first time I went to Parker's, it was one in Savannah. Yeah. and maybe I think the one his office is right above.
Right.
And it's like a fresh market
It is.
almost
Yeah,
when you
it
walk
is.
in
it's
there.
like the
It
Fresh
is.
Market or Target version of a
Yeah.
convenience store.
And then, you know, the ones he's put over here in South Carolina, they're not that quite same model, but they're so nice. I mean, my daughter, it's like we're going to like
They
a
get so
treat.
excited to go
it
to
is.
Parker.
They do.
Who doesn't get excited to go to Parker?
You do.
I
And
can't leave my kids in the car when we go to Parker.
He is involved in everything from the major renovation and building down to the landscaping. He's really into the details. I think you'll be surprised, you know, when he's talking to us, we learned a lot about a few things. Like, we weren't aware that in a lot of those parks, they're full kitchens. Full kitchens in the back, because that's where a lot of their profit center comes from. It's not from the gas out front. It's
I
from
think
the
it's
food.
changing. I mean, I think he's a perfect example of that. That whole situation is changing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that you generally think about, but with all of them popping up, because there's been how many? 2, 3
Oh,
in
God, yeah.
Bluffton?
I think they've
Four.
doubled in even the
Yeah.
last 5
Yeah,
years. something like
definitely,
that,
definitely among his lineup. And you know, the neat thing, he's such an entrepreneur, and so I think it's a great opportunity for our small businesses
sure.
to kind
To
of
learn.
learn from him. I mean, the best way to learn is learn from somebody else's
And he's a very
mistakes
savvy
and
businessman,
successes.
and he's a
Definitely.
very charismatic speaker too.
Yeah.
You know, very engaging. So it'll be a treat.
We're
Well,
excited to have
y'all
him.
are giving away some awards, but you've won some yourself in the
Yes.
past, and maybe some recent. What's up with
We
that?
have once again qualified for the National Chamber of the Year.
That's awesome.
So we are so excited about that. It would be a three-peat. I don't want to jinx it, but a three-peat. We have won before twice, and that's very rare. Just to win twice. If we were to win this third time, it would really be setting big records in the chamber world nationally.
Who are some other finalists, just to put it in perspective, like who we're competing against?
Oh, you know what? Because of people forget we have 1,600 members. We're considered a large chamber nationwide. So we're competing against Las Vegas, Los Angeles,
Wow.
Tulsa,
Really?
Houston. We're competing in those
Big time.
groups. I
Yeah.
mean, to give you an idea,
Incredible.
we have 1,600 members. The Minneapolis chamber, you know, the Minneapolis, they don't have 1,600 members. So
Wow.
we have to compete against the big boys. And even just to qualify to compete, you have to meet certain criteria on retaining your members. You know, your members have to stay with you. They consider that a benchmark in Chamberland. So we've met the initial criteria. We've put forth and then they turn over every stone, and we put forth our programs. And so may the best
Fingers
team
crossed.
win.
That's awesome.
We're going to be nominated for 3 in a row. It's a huge.
We have been a
you.
finalist for a couple of times as well recently, not too long ago. So it's good. It's good to be noted as the best, and it's always great when somebody else is saying it. You know.
Yeah. You know, it's good to see somebody else
Yeah,
saying
you
it.
know, our members tell us great things, and it's really our members that put us there. Honestly, we don't do the programs we do without
Sure.
all those members. So it's an award not just for us; it's for everybody who's
Yeah.
part of the chamber.
That's
so
great.
we're excited.
And great for the island,
Yeah,
obviously.
we're excited. We're excited.
So something else special, with all of the special things that you guys have going on to wrap up Small Business Week, what is your special secret that's going to be a big
The
deal?
secret sauce, you know, everybody loves Business After Hours, and so this is going to be an especially great one. Business After Hours Bluffton Block Party. We're going to be doing
Cool.
a big block party at our Bluffton office, and it's going to be fantastic. Sponsored by Group 46 and Omega Printing, 2 new businesses that are popping in there, and they're going to be part of that too. So we're excited. Captain Woody's is going to be doing the food. It's going to be a great event.
What night
That's a
is
good
that going to
location.
be?
That's going to be on Thursday. Always on a
Thursday?
Thursday, just
Okay.
as it always is. So we'll have a great turnout for that.
That's
Now, is
great.
that open to non-members?
It is open to non-members.
Okay.
You can come as a non-member, and yeah, it's going to be a great party. It's going to be a great time.
Sounds
Yeah.
like fun. Well, thank you again for being with
Thanks.
us. And if anybody ever wants any more information, just go to hiltonheadchamber.org and make sure that you come right back, because we'll be back with more 843 TV.